Okay, so I am recording this video because there are some things that I need to get off of my mental, just off of me, period. And I chose to do it this way instead of a live or whatever because people can comment during lives and that will interrupt my focus and things like that. I didn't write anything down. I'm just going to go with it. I did not come to this decision lightly. Um, the things that I'm going to talk about, I have been dealing with since I was a child. And I've always chosen to pretty much remain silent about them, except for a few, selected people. Um, because I was always protecting other people and worried about how other people were going to be looked at or viewed or things like that. When in actuality, because I was a child when this major thing happened to me, I shouldn't have been worried about protecting anybody. I should have been the one who was being protected. But I could say for the majority of my life, I was unprotected. Um, there are only a few adults that have been a part of my life that made me feel protected. Um, two of them are no longer living, one being my grandfather, Ellis McDonald, um, the other being my Aunt Byrne, which was more of a mother to me than an aunt. Um, so, and even these two people did not know the thing that I'm going to talk about in this video because and oh, also there's Nicole Harrison. That's an adult that made me feel protected. Um, she and Pat. But Nicole did not know anything about this up until a few nights ago when we had a long phone conversation and I told her. And like I say, I didn't tell other adults besides the one adult I told. That for sure was supposed to protect me. Because I was worried about protecting her. And that adult was the person that gave birth to me. No, I will not be referring to her as my mother because she has never, besides giving birth to me, she hasn't been a mother to me. But because you are born and your parents are the people that you look for love from and protection and all of that immediately when you're born, those are the people that you depend on. So I've always strived to get that unconditional love from her and just nobody's perfect, of course, but the things that I was subjected to and not protected from, and even after the fact of finding out, it's just not okay. Um, so the thing that I'm talking about, as a child, I was raped and molested by Jackie. That is the woman who gave birth to me. That is her name. I was raped and molested by her brother. His name is General Dixon, goes by Junior. Um, here is, let's see if y'all can see that. Here is a photo of him that was posted on another relative's page for his birthday the other day. Um, so, um, the first time that he did this to me, of course, I don't know the exact date, but I was a little kid. My grandfather had just dropped me off at home. We lived in Third Ward, Houston, Texas, and nobody else was there but him. My grandfather dropped me off at home, and I asked him for a bowl of cereal. And he proceeded to tell me that I could not have the cereal unless I came into the bedroom first. And so once I did that, he proceeded to molest and rape me the first time. And the only specific thing that I really remember that sticks with me is, of course, that I wanted cereal and I had to come in the room and let him do that before I could get the cereal. And the fact that to do what he was doing to me, he needed Vaseline. So for a very long time, I couldn't use regular Vaseline because of the scent. It reminded me of that. Um, and also the fact that when he was done, he told me if I told anybody that he would hurt and kill me. So I did not tell anyone for a few years. I was an older child, not a teenager or anything, but an older child when I first told this to Jackie. It was after a conversation with, if I'm remembering correctly, one of my uncles, Irvin. I believe it was a girl he was talking to at the time. We were at the house on Sampson and Simmons in Third Ward. Again, not the same house it happened at, but another house we lived in. And the girl asked me if I had ever had sex. And I was like, I did, but it wasn't my choice. And she was like, well, what do you mean? And so I told her what happened. And she was like, you got to tell your mama. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. Fear of getting in trouble. Still fear of, being hurt by him because he was around all the time. So anyway, she kept pressing. And so I went ahead and told my mom what happened. And my mom, Jackie, force of habit, Jackie made me go to my friend's house. There was two sisters that lived by us. They lived behind us, actually. She made me go to their house after I told her that. There was no discussion. Nothing happened afterwards. It was never brought up again. She just made me go to their house. So I didn't bring it up anymore until a few years later. I was older. I believe I was a teenager, like early teens. I remember us, me, Jackie, and whoever she was dating at the time. We were like downtown Houston, some hole in the wall or something. And it was a game of truth or dare going on. And trust me, I don't know what adults' obsession with me having sex was, but the question was asked if I was a virgin. And I was like, no, but it wasn't my choice. And my mom already knows. That's exactly what I said. And so immediately she pulls me to the side, and whoever she was with at the time, for a long time I thought it was Nicole, but I had to rethink that, especially after we talked, because if Nicole ever knew about that, it wouldn't have went the way that it went. She was very protective and loving. So pull me to the side. What are you talking about? And I'm like, I already told you what he did to me or whatever. And then we went home. It was never brought up again. So I feel like I kind of really pushed it down and made myself not think about it, because it's like, you've told twice, nothing's happened, you know what I'm saying? And you're still forced to be around this person at family functions, even just going to other family members' house. He's always there. And every time I would see him, I would just call him a black juju monkey, and that's all I would say to him. Because I had no words for him. But it just, being that I had already told the person who gave birth to me, what he did to me, and you're still bringing me around him, I'm like, I guess it doesn't matter, what happened to me. So just try to forget about it. Just move on. But the thing about it is, even when we try to push stuff down and we try not to think about it, the body keeps score, So it's always been there. And so in 2015, I had got real depressed. And I couldn't figure out why. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I was going through relationship problems at the time. But it wasn't that, So I'm like, what is going on? And I always watch Law and Order SVU. And I'm like, it ain't that, I love watching those shows. And I feel like I love watching those shows because 9 times out of 10, the person who violates somebody, they get caught. You know what I'm saying? So I started thinking, what could be going on. And at the time, my youngest was really little. She was a toddler. My oldest, she wasn't that much older because they're 5 years apart. But I was like, this has got to be around the time that this happened to me, because looking at my kids is when I would get really sad. And so I posted in a Facebook group that I was in. I think it's You're Not Alone or something it was called. And I asked, if any women in there had been through anything like that with their family members or whatever. And a lot of women reached out to me. We talked privately, and then they were telling me, you should ask your mom, why she never did anything, because I really still couldn't wrap my head around that. And so I sent her a message on Facebook. We really weren't talking at the time. We would always go through bouts where either she wouldn't be talking to me because I wouldn't do something she wanted me to do, or I chose not to talk to her um, because of a way that she had used me, and messed me over. And I'm trying to use clean words because I don't want the video to be removed, but I'm sure somebody will be upset and they will report it, whatever the case may be. So anyway, I messaged her and I was like, why didn't you ever, hold on, be right back, because I want to use exact words. Be right back. Oh, so the video got cut because I had to go find this, but I sent it to myself in a Facebook message so that I could have the exact wordings. So I sent her a message and I said, I have wanted to ask you this for a very long time. Why didn't you ever do anything after I told you that your brother, my Uncle Junior, raped me? And then she read the message. She did not respond. So I said, so after all this time, you still ignore it, the pain, the shame, the fear I have because of what he did and what you didn't do eats at me every single day when I look at my daughters. I could never turn a blind eye to someone causing irreversible pain to my children. Her response was, there's a car coming, so I'm going to wait. Because I am at the park doing this. I don't want this energy in my home any longer. So her response was, call the cops. I'm out of your life. Leave me the hell alone. And so she said, look, I took care of y'all. And true, I miss talking to you, but the way I'm set up, I don't need the bullshit. Right now, I love you, but why every time you inbox me, it's always negative? I'd rather you not even contact me if it's BS. Love you and will always love you, but I can't do the drama. I said, how's this drama? Bearing secrets and pain get people killed, and the cycle of pain continues. Why not change and be better? Why just exist in the world? And then she said, look, Ruthie, I love you and miss my grandkids. And if we can't get past of the past, then I don't know what to tell you. Love you and good night. I said, can't get past it by burying it. You run from everything. Good night and goodbye. You don't love me. You can't. Love doesn't do this. She said, you don't have to bury it. Do something about it. You talking about people getting killed, so do what you and your girlfriend talking about. Just leave me alone. I have my own problems. And then I said the girlfriend's name has nothing to do with this. Good night and goodbye. So I didn't say anything else after that. And for a long time, we did not speak. I think for a long time, we didn't speak. I was a mess after that, of course, and I just couldn't wrap my mind around how someone that is supposed to love you unconditionally could say the things that she said to me. I can't imagine ever doing my children that way, or anybody for that matter, but that is what I was told, and that is what I had to sit with. Eventually, of course, we did talk again because like I did all the time, I buried it and kept it pushing because I wanted to have her in my life. Who doesn't want to have their mom in their life? So, and my Aunt Bern used to tell me all the time that I had such a big heart, and I'm always the one who goes out of my way and tries to fix everything, and it's not my job to fix everything all the time, but I couldn't hear it then. One reason I couldn't hear it then, because me and her are so alike, and even though she had people in her life that were using her and not treating her right, she still was right there helping them. And so I was doing the same. You can tell a person something and tell a person something. But if you're showing them different, 9 times out of 10, they're going to do what they see, you know? And not putting any blame on her or anything, because I see a lot of her in me. Like, we take care of people. That's our thing. And I know that I take care of people and I give so much of myself to people because I try to be the person that I've always wanted, that I've always looked for, that I've always longed for. And my parents. Now, my dad he was messed up for a long time, but he turned his life around and he's been there for me, supporting me and my children. So he is still in my life, but for a while he was not, because I wasn't accepting the things that he was doing and saying either. So, but the main point of this video is that I am a survivor of being raped and molested as a child. I spoke up. I told someone that was supposed to protect me, and that did not happen. And about 2 weeks ago, I was working on a custom order and talking to another relative on the phone, and about my maternal grandmother being in the hospital and some things that were going on with that, some shady things involving the family and involving the person that gave birth to me. And at that moment, when all of that stuff was uncovered, I decided that I couldn't have her in my life anymore. Not only because of what she had put me through all these years, but also because of the actions she was taking with this person, with this family member I was talking to on the phone that I love and care about. And it just shows me that she's never going to change. It's always going to be hurtful and evil things, and she's always going to put herself first, or she's going to put the people first that really don't care about her. But me, specifically, the person who went to the ends of the earth for you, would do anything for you regardless of what bad thing you did to me, I was always there, but you treat me like garbage over and over again. So I'm just like, no, I'm done. And I'm not going to condone anything that the people that were involved in that. So I also decided to cut another family member off as a result of what they were doing to this family member, surrounding their mom being in the hospital. And it brought up a lot of memories about when another family member passed away and how things were handled then. Also, and it's just like so many secrets, so many lies, so many hidden things, and it's all generational. It just keeps getting passed down. Like the way that their children, the way they treat their children, they got it from somewhere. But I make a conscious effort. I've made a conscious effort since I became a mother to my own kids, because I was a parent before I ever had kids. I raised my 3 brothers. Whether the person who gave birth to us wants to admit it or not, whether all of my brothers appreciate it or not, still doesn't negate what I did, and continue to do even after I moved out of the family home. And I just wanted to make this video and get it out there about what this person did to me, because I know I'm not the first person he did it to, not the last, and certainly not the only. No. And I know in my heart of hearts that people in my family knew what he was before he ever got to me, and it could have been prevented. Even after, when I told her what he did, he could have never touched another person in that way. But nothing was done. And then, so a couple of weeks ago, when I found all about the stuff at the hospital and how they were doing that, actually last week I got a phone call from another relative trying to see why I wasn't talking to the person that gave birth to me, and I told her everything. Not everything, but I told her the bulk of it. And she, in that conversation, she told me that the person that gave birth to me was like, well, I don't know if he did that. So after all this time, And all of this pain that I've been through, you still say that you don't know if he did that. The reaction that I've had the last time I actually saw him in person was at my maternal grandmother's house. I was talking to her about an event that I had sitting in her living room, and he came out of the room and he just stood there and he was staring at me, and I immediately got up and I left once I processed that that's who was looking at me. And I left all my stuff in there, my phone, everything was in there, and I sat in the truck because I never wanted to be in his presence again. And I had already told the person that gave birth to me that, and I had told her mom also, my grandmother. I told her that too. We had a conversation, which my grandmother found out not too long ago, maybe like a year or so ago, because another family member told her. And I wasn't upset about that because I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Because for one, I didn't know if she would believe me, and that hurts when somebody don't believe you about something like that. So we had a phone conversation, and I told her I still loved her. I would come see her, but not if he's there. And so I stopped going over there. And then I found out about how she did another family member's child. When she didn't want to speak to him, she put that child out of the house because she didn't want to speak to the pedophile. So that, the fact that she's still choosing to have him live with her, how she's treating a certain family member that does everything for her, I can't get with it. I can't rock with it. I can't have people in my life that choose to treat people so ugly and so nasty and do things this way. I can't have it anymore. I can't have it in my life. I can't have it in my children's lives. I'm not rich by any means, but I'm trying to let them have a happy life, as happy as it can be. And I have to show them, as I told them, why I wasn't talking to the person that gave birth to me. And I told them they do not have to allow anyone to mistreat them and use them simply because of a title that they hold. And that goes for their mother too, which their mother would never, but nobody do you have to allow to treat you any kind of way and still be in your life. No, it's not gonna happen. And I couldn't just tell them that. I have to show them that too. So although in the past I go back every single time, there is no going back. She is blocked in every sense of the word. The other family member that was involved with the stuff with the hospital tried to block this person on Facebook. Can't do it for some reason. It's some kind of glitch. I don't know. So it's just a lot, and it's a really heavy thing to have on you all the time, to have this going through your mind all the time, to try to figure out why you're being treated in such a way when all you do is love and do for people and things like that. But and I guess that's the thing, when you don't have boundaries and you allow people to do certain things, you're going to keep going through certain things. And so that's what was going on in my life. And I have to protect me the way that I fought and protected other people. I have to do that for me. Finally, I have to see what it's like to be loved by Ruthie. That's something my therapist asked me before, and I couldn't answer it. What's it like to be loved by Ruthie? And I couldn't answer that. But now I can. It means to be protected. It means to be cared for. It means to be cherished. So I'm giving that to myself because I deserve it and I need it. So I just wanted to get this all out and let people know that happened to me. And if it happened to you, you are not alone. You don't have to be silent about it. If you want to talk to me, I'm here. If you don't want to talk to me, you can talk to other people. You don't have to bottle it in and keep it buried because keeping it buried doesn't make it go away. It's still there. It's eating at you, and emotional turmoil and mental turmoil manifests physically. So a lot of things I know that my body has been through is because of things that I kept inside. So I wanted to get this stuff out, and I know that people are going to have their opinions. um I know that people are going to have their opinions, negative, positive, whatever. You are totally entitled to that. You don't have to agree with my method or agree with anything I've said here. You can say whatever you like. Um, but just know my boundaries, they go for anybody. Anybody can go, anybody can get it, period. So, yeah, so certain people that I am related to and that I share blood with, I will no longer have them in my life. So if you don't see me talking about these people or posting about these people, please do not ask me about them. Um, just don't. Just don't do it. I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't. So that is all of that. I don't think I need to say anything else. If I do, I might make another video. I don't know, but I can feel the emotions coming up, and I didn't want to be a boohoo crying mess on this video. I brought tissue just in case, but I did not want to do that because I wanted, to get this out. And my therapist kind of warned me, she didn't tell me not to do it. She never tells me not to do something. We talk about it and I come to my own conclusion, and I was firm in that. And she was like, well, it can be this and that, especially with you putting it out there. And I'm fully prepared. I'm fully prepared. This has to come up off of me. It has to come out of me. It has to go. It has to go. So yeah, it's gonna be out there once I post this. So that is that. And that's all I have to say about it. I'm going to show him one more time and say his name one more time, and then that will be that. This is him, William Dixon, General Dixon Jr., whatever you want to call him. Pedophile is what he should be going by. Yeah, that is that. That is that. Do not ask me about him, his sister that gave birth to me. None of that. None of that. None of that. None of that. And I also want people to know that have been through this that it doesn't have to define you. Of course, I wish a lot of things in my childhood and a lot of things in my life would have been different. But I am grateful for everything that I've gone through, because everything that I've gone through made me who I am, along with the values and things that I got from my grandfather, Ellis McDonald, and my aunt, Bernadette McLean Davis. Those individuals, and along with a select few others, made me who I am, and the things I've been through made me who I am, because a lot of what I saw growing up as a child taught me what not to do with my children, taught me what not to do with my brothers when I was taking care of them. So I am grateful for everything that I've gone through, because I am this person and I am not letting it hold me back. Of course, I've been depressed. There's been weeks or months that I couldn't do anything besides make sure the girls were good and things like that, and I wasn't taking care of myself. But I got back in therapy, started taking care of myself, and y'all probably noticed the change in me. So it's not to say that I haven't had sad times, I haven't had bad times, because of decisions I've made as a result of things I've been through and not wanting to face those things. It's just to say that you have control over your life, and I took back the control over mine, and if I do say so myself, I'm doing pretty well. I work hard. I make sure my children are taken care of despite issues with the people that I had them with, or created them with. But I I'm a mother. I am a mother, and I will be one. Even when I'm gone, I'm gonna watch over them. So they have the mother that they have because of the things that I went through. I know what not to do. I know what to do. I show them love and affection. They don't have to question if I ask them for a hug, do I want something? What do I want now? That's the type of thing that I had to deal with. Um and this is not a pity party or none of that. I'm not asking for none of that. I needed to get this off of me, and yeah, I needed to get it off of me, and so I did this. Now it's not officially done until I share it, and but I'm gonna do that too. And I hope that this maybe helps somebody um, with something that they're going through. And like I say, I'm always here if you need to talk. And I appreciate you all watching, and for the people that root for me and pray for me and just are nice people in general. I really appreciate you. And um, I know that in school I probably seem mean and things like that, but it was really a defense mechanism because I didn't want people to get close to me. I didn't want people to get close to me and then leave me because everybody that I loved, they left. And I didn't want people to see like how I was treated at home and stuff like that because I knew it wasn't right. Um, when me and Crystal finally became friends, because at first she thought I was a bully and she didn't like me. But she got through that and she saw, things that were going on, but she never tried to, come between me and the person that gave birth to me. She was just always there for me, always had my back. Uh, Even at one point was living with me and helping me take care of the boys when the person that gave birth to us wasn't there. It's just a lot that she's gone through with me and been there to support me through. So I really appreciate her. That is my sister. Um, yeah. So okay. I'm gonna cut this off because it's finna get, yeah. But yeah. Thanks for watching. I'm here if you want to talk. Thanks. Bye.